Morris Shaw, my friend and fellow radio special producer, was lucky enough to get Victor Jory back for a second appearance at Trax. This one was for the 1-hour special, The Feast of Valentine. He starred as Zeus. This was a Valentine Day radio special for WHAS, and my friend Gary Burbank was the show's announcer, narrator, and 2 or 3 other people. From 1980, here's The Feast of Valentine.
Welcome, friends and lovers, to The Feast of Valentine, starring Victor Jory. A story both ancient and contemporary, false and true, real and ideal. In short, a story of love. We began at Olympus. Oh, not the mist-shrouded mountaintop from which the gods made life so entertaining for the ancient Greeks. Those titanic personalities are still with us, of course. But their new home is somewhat removed from the old attic splendor. It's less immediate, more state of mind. As our story opens, we find the mighty Zeus engaged in spirited play with his thunderbolts. It is for him a typically direct attempt at relevance.
How do you like that, mortals? Can you doubt who it is that calls? Am I not Zeus, master of heaven, spanner of time, lord of the flies? I stand across time and space, 1 foot in ancient Attica, 1 foot on the neck of the New World. And there's a lot more where that came from. And let them ignore that if they can. Echo! Echo!
Yes, my Lord Zeus? Oh, look, you've made it snow. Oh, it's lovely.
Echo, little Echo. Yes, I've made it snow. All over New York City. We'll see what they think of me now. Tell me, Echo, your young ears are better than mine. Listen, what are they saying?
Oh, well, let me see. It's hard to tell. It's all quite muted. Let's see. Traffic impossible. 10 inches. Subway packed. Sidewalks?
Is that all?
Well, it seems so. Oh, wait, there's a cab driver. Let's see. Zeus, are my ears red?
Nothing of me?
Well, I don't think. Oh, wait, yes, there's something on their radio.
Radio. Now we're getting somewhere.
Quiet. Oh, excuse me, Lord.
Never mind. What is it?
Zeus. 3 pieces. $99.95. 3 pieces?
3 pieces? Suits? They're talking about suits?
Oh, sorry, but there's a lot of static.
Oh, these modern mortals, I give them a foot of frozen persuasion and they still go on with their petty mercantile lives. They're so pedestrian.
Well, today, certainly.
I'll show them.
Lord Zeus, please.
Aphrodite. Love.
I will answer to either name, but I doubt I could hear anyone call over the roar of your incessant thundering.
Young woman, I suggest that you recall to whom it is you speak and lower your voice.
Now that it's a little quiet around here, that's possible. Forgive me, Lord Zeus, but is it too much to ask, considering our somewhat restricted circumstances, that we have a little peace?
Since I'm through for the time being, I believe I can grant your request.
Thank you, Zeus. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Echo, I think our forward young goddess of love could use a thunderbolt right in her...
She's troubled of late, Lord.
Troubled?
I think she feels, well, ignored.
Oh, yes, that. Being ignored is a problem for any being. For a goddess, it's nothing less than a slow death. Believe it or not, there are times when even I have doubts about my, potency.
Really?
Yeah, it's true. We miss the old festivals, the heavens filling with incense, the sacrifices of snow-white heifers. It's easy to think of those times among the ancients as better days. We were closer to the mortals then. It was possible to have a more personal relationship. I myself was known to fancy a little mortal companionship at times. Of course, Hera would always make life very difficult for me afterwards, but it always seemed to be worth it. Yes, Europa. Later, I take the form of a bull or a swan to approach them in the most secret places. Oh, that was nice. What aspect could I assume to approach a woman now? A sports car? A pair of roller skates? Those were good days.
Time has changed all that.
Yeah, time changes nothing, Echo.
What can the gods give mortals after all these long years?
Understanding. The adventures of the gods are images of the souls of mortals. We are reflected in them and they in us.
And if those images are obscured or lost...
Then it is time for the gods to act again. But how? Even my bolts have no effect on them anymore. The thunder is only absorbed in the clamor of their everyday lives. Echo.
Yes, Lord?
Go to Aphrodite. Comfort her.
I will, but I don't know if I can comfort her.
Tell her, yes. Tell her that love is not forgotten. That there is a day set aside for love. It's called Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day? What sort of observances are held?
That's not important. Just tell her that.
I will.
Oh, and Echo, if you see Apollo, will you tell him I'd like to speak with him?
Yes, Lord.
Zeus, you old fox. Wheels within wheels. Yes, wheels within wheels within.
Aphrodite! Aphrodite!
Here, Echo, by the fountain.
Are you all right, mistress?
Yes, I think so. It's sweet of you to be so concerned. You know, of all the mortals on whom I worked my spells, you are my favorite.
Victim?
Victim? You can't feel that way, surely.
I am condemned to eternal longing for the beautiful Narcissus, who loved only himself.
Condemned or rewarded? While Narcissus now can never be yours, you have been given eternal hope, and that has raised you to the level of the gods.
Hoping for love without having it is an eternity.
But an eternity of beauty and maidenly innocence. You can't really hate me for that, can you, Echo?
Oh, hate you, mistress? Oh, that would be impossible.
That's good. I'm not sure I could stand any more rejection. You know, sitting here looking into the water, do you know what it reminds me of?
Of the old days among the ancients.
How did you know?
Everything does, anymore.
Is it so obvious then? I suppose it is. Did I ever tell you about the temple they built for me at Kalitas?
On the hill overlooking the capital?
With its library.
And its school of medicine?
All those young physicians. And my statue looking out over the sea.
And the sailors would salute you as the great ships left the harbor.
Kalitas was a gem among cities.
Pompeii was a village to it.
I see, I have told you already.
You may have mentioned it a few times, but your face becomes so radiant when you speak of it. I could hear the story 1,000 times over.
Ah, but I shouldn't speak of it so much. It only makes me that much sadder. Did you know they found my head in the basement of the British Museum? The head of Aphrodite, gathering dust among the uncatalogued relics of forgotten ages.
Well, at least you're not completely forgotten. I mean, someone knew whose head it was, and they took it upstairs.
Yes, but the British Museum is hardly a temple. What am I to the mass of mankind but an unpronounceable proper noun? The name of one of those places businessmen go to when they're supposed to be having lunch.
Massage parlors?
Yes, that's it. How did you know?
I listen a lot.
Anyway, it's hardly what I'd call an honor. Oh, Echo, is there any future for a race that does not honor love?
But they do.
How's that?
They do honor love. Zeus told me. They have a day set aside.
A festival of Aphrodite? Where? When? Why haven't I heard?
Well, it's not the festival of Aphrodite. They call it something else.
What else could they call it?
Now, what was it Zeus said?
Of all times not to pay attention.
Valentine's Day, that's it. That's what they called it.
Valentine's Day? Are you sure?
Positive. It's Valentine's Day.
Who is Valentine?
I don't know.
You don't suppose it's some new god?
One we don't know about? Is that possible?
Well, then who is he? And how did he get my day? Who would know?
Apollo. Whom should we ask but the god of all knowledge?
Where is he? Echo, come with me.
Whoa, boy. Whoa, now.
Apollo?
Stay back. You'll frighten them.
Apollo!
Apollo?
Oh, now you've done it. They'll be off with Pegasus again, and Zeus knows where he'll lead them. Look at them. Grown fat on Elysian fodder.
Apollo, what are you doing out here?
Oh, I thought I'd hitch them up to the old chariot and take a few spins across the sky. Silly beasts. Never were properly broken. Well...
Now, what kind of greeting is that?
Oh, what kind of greeting did you expect? Interrupting a man in his work, scaring his horses.
Work? You haven't done anything around here in centuries.
Oh, you know you've been nothing but trouble for me ever since they popped you out of that oyster.
Oyster? Sea foam. I was born of the sea foam from my father Poseidon. The only problem with you was you couldn't stand the competition. The epitome of manly grace and beauty. Ha! You've walked around for 3,000 years shooting profiles.
Competition? Why, you couldn't compete with a Theban sheepdog for a mud fence award. Goddess of love, sucking up libations from lovesick old maids.
Phoebus Apollo, god of light. It didn't take the mortals long to find out you weren't worth the candle.
They built the Colossus of Rhodes to honor me in the aspect of Phoebus. It stood across the harbor, all burnished metal glowing in the sun. I can't blame them for thinking you a bit dowdy in comparison.
At least it took a tidal wave to topple my temple at Kalitas. They chopped you down and sold you for scrap.
Ahem!
Oh, hello, Echo. It's good to see you.
Lord Apollo?
Forgive my rudeness, Echo. I was distracted. Is there something I can do for you?
I have a question to ask you. Could you tell me who Valentine is?
Valentine? Valentine. I should know that.
You should know everything.
Well, I almost had it there for a second. Now, let's see. U-V-V-A-V-A-L... Valentine. A greeting card of a sentimental or satirical nature sent usually to one of the opposite sex on St. Valentine's Day.
Saint Valentine?
But who is he?
Valentine, saint. Roman Christian martyr of the 3rd century.
Roman. That figures.
Now, why would they honor love on St. Valentine's Day?
St. Valentine's Day. That would be under S.
Very good.
Do you want to learn about this or not?
I'm just a disinterested spectator.
Go on, please.
St. Valentine's Day, February 14, on which Valentines are traditionally exchanged.
Oh, he's going around in circles.
That's it. I've had enough. Zeus knows I've tried, but there's just no getting along with some people. Echo, I'm sorry, but I've really got to go.
Apollo, Lord Zeus would like to see you.
Thank you, Echo. Goodbye.
If you'll permit my saying so, mistress, you weren't very helpful.
Well, we weren't getting much out of him. I should have known better than to ask him in the first place. Echo, how would you like to join me on an investigation?
Investigation?
Good. Come with me. We're going to find out about this Valentine's Day.